Greetings, dear teachers. Let's try and understand PBL number 4 through this video. Yes, this is PBL number 4 for grade 7 and has been mapped to the chapter The Wonder Bowl. The concept that we'll be taking up for this PBL in our classrooms to make it more collaborative and engaging is journaling. Here are the concepts covered and the learning outcomes and their learning objectives. As we all know, learning outcomes have been mapped from our DSCRT document as per monthly requirements. And the learning objectives are goals that we wish for learners to achieve at the end of this PBL module's execution. Meaning, we hope that they try and understand what simple journaling or diary writing is, and that they are able to write sentences reflecting on abundance, meaning plenty, and scarcity, meaning shortage of things around oneself. And yes, writing as a skill is definitely expected to be improved. Let's start with a spark curiosity thinking question. The question for this PBL here at hand is, what actions can you take to make a positive impact in the world? Learners are then given the opportunity to write anything under the sun. A few examples are throw waste in the dustbin always, or help people in need. Share your ideas and thoughts at home. Share food and toys with friends. Work hard and study well. Anything and everything is encouraged if it has a positive impact in the world. Next, moving on to our reading comprehension bit. This is activity number 1 since it will help our learners get a context of what journal writing is actually about. Here is a character called Rani who writes a couple of things in her journal. And thus, the questions then asked will help the learners understand what journaling means to a character like Rani. For example, a simple true or false question like, Rani wrote in a journal where she shared her thoughts. Is this true or false? These statements make the definition of journaling clear to the learners. Next, a sweet little character called Chotu is introduced. Chotu here is introduced in activity number 2 to help the learners understand what journal writing is through practice. A few questions asked at the beginning are, do you journal or do you write your journal every day? And a few templates are given as shown here in our PBL. My name, my friends call me, at home my nickname is, I like going to school because. These are reflective questions that help one practice writing their thoughts. As the definition goes, journaling is writing a regular record of events that happen in your life and is a tool to make you think and reflect on your actions. To make it easy for the learners, Chotu at every step gives them an example. For instance, in the third box, there is a simple template that says, today, these 3 things happened which I liked a lot. What are those 3 things? Event number 1, 2 and 3 can be written by the learners. And Chotu is there to give examples. For example, I liked it when the teacher appreciated me and said, you're a good aunt, Chotu. And I said, I will try to be a good girl every day. These are instances in our life that make us happy. Thus, the children are encouraged to look through their day in a more positive light. And yes, things that they did not like are also mentioned in the next box so that this can help them channelize their emotions of sadness and frustration. The activity of journaling is a simple one yet requires a lot of thought put into normal activities of the day. And that is why questions like think about it is given. Is writing a diary or a journal more interesting than writing a story of your own? Why? How do you feel when you read your everyday actions? These are questions that will help the children form emotional intelligence in their daily life. This is important for socio-emotional learning, SEL, as we all know. Last but not the least, the learners are given the opportunity to express their creativity in the creative space. Here, they can draw a journal entry about a day in school. They needn't write it in words, they can use drawings. This way, the learners are identifying what journaling truly means and that it's not simply writing. It is but a reflection and a record of the things of our daily lives. And then the learners are also encouraged to share this with their friends and check what and how their friends' journals are different from them. Write a journal entry about a day in school is also a small descriptive prompt given at the end of creative space. Now comes the self-assessment questions with which our PBL ends. 10 self-assessment questions with 4 MCQ options, all of which have been covered in this module. Answering this will help the learners understand what journaling actually means. And choosing from the 4 options, which are all objective, will help the learners understand what is right and what is wrong on their own. Self-learning is best learning after all. And yes, we do encourage them to systematically answer the self-assessment questions using the OMR sheet. This will help the learners answer in the future competitive exams. Thank you for listening and all the very best in executing this module in your classrooms. Here's to achieving all our goals and dreams, however big or small they may be, through journaling.